Hi everybody, it's PJ, and today we are doing sex with a Virgo. Don't look at my nails. I should have done my nails because that would be what a Virgo looked at. If there's like an imperfection. Now, I don't want you to, I think Virgos get a raw deal, first off. Because if you read about them and if you don't know them or have had experiences like being on the psychic line gives me experiences like learning about different signs because I'm listening to what they think is important or what they're worried about, that kind of thing. So when you do that, you get a different spectrum of just the analytical part that you would find in books. And in books, you hear about judgments because that's kind of that's Virgo's job, is to judge. But it isn't like judgmentalness. When you say judge, it's like to see, okay, so if you have, you know those little toys the kids have, and they have circles and they have squares and stars and like a egg shape, like ovals and all the different shapes, and then it has like a ball with the cutouts that you have to put the blocks in the cutout. That is the judgment. Where does the star block fit on the circle? That's the judgment. It's not judgmentalness, although it can go there. It can go there. I find, honestly, judgmentally, I think Libra is much more of a judgmental sign, but that's just me. Anyway, we'll get to Libra next time. This is about Virgos. Okay, so when dealing with a Virgo, if your sexual partner is a Virgo, don't look for you to be judged so much as they judge themselves. That's the big thing about Virgos. It's not, you're perfect if they're in love with you. They don't care. It's themselves they judge, and therefore they hinder themselves. They sequester themselves. And so many people that I've talked to over the years that either dated or have wanted a relationship with a Virgo, the biggest thing about them is they're shut, they're closed. And to open that door is like hugely hard because not of their judgment of you, but their judgment of themselves. And that turns into fear that they're not good enough, that they're not worthy of what you are. Most Virgo men that I see always get a Spitfire for a girlfriend or even a guy friend because they're a little too scared to be that themselves, so they try to find that missing piece in a partner, okay? Okay, so let's get to the sex part. All right, so Virgos, as a rule, are willing to do anything, but it has to be your idea. Very rarely are they going to be the ones that walk in with like the whips and the chains and say, let's try this out. But if you did, they're going for it. They're going to go for it. They're like, again, a little closeted in their admittance to what they'll even talk about. The Virgos are the first to blush. First to blush. They are the ones that in a sexual conversation, they're not going to give up the story. It's going to take a long time for them to give up the story. And if they do, they're going to laugh the whole time and be red in the face. So you have to be the initiator, which can get tiring. Now, not with love. You don't have to be the love initiator, although that can be true too, that you would have to initiate saying, I love you first and things like that. But once you get them over the fear of themselves, that's why they are like clueless men. The men are clueless. Women are a little bit different. They're a little bit more analytical, and they're a little, to me, that I've noticed. Remember, these are my opinions that I've noticed. And they're more like looking for a match. A woman, Virgo, is looking for the right star to go into her big round toy. Do you know what I mean? So they're a little different. With Virgo men, they're more willing to be led. They're collectors too. You got to be a little careful because they can be a little sneaky because they're so quiet and there's a part of them that is shut down. If they're not telling you stories of their past. Be careful that they don't have some of their past still hanging around. They also try to find, you have to be a little careful that Virgos want to be the victim. But here's the deal with wanting to be the victim. That is the best sex game. They are passive. They're usually bottoms, obviously. The men like strong females, kind of like, I always think of the woman in Conan. What was her name? Sandal Bergman, okay? She was like this big, strong, I mean, I don't know if she's still around, but she was this actress, and she was like this almost big, strong warrior woman. Virgos would love that, okay? That is, and it doesn't have to be that you're a big, strong woman. It can be that your mind is that strong, that you're set that strong. And the women like strong men. So Virgo women are going to be either looking for somebody very super smart, like a little above the rest, like super smart, super strong, bikers, you know, you can have like doctors to bikers kind of thing, like anything that is like that missing piece to themselves, because they aren't that aggressor and they need that sexually. So that's what they usually find, a more aggressive person to be their other. As for what their turn-ons and turn-offs are and stuff, they are a little bit hidden, so they don't like things fast. Like, if you're going to grab a Virgo and throw him in a dungeon and smack him around with B&D, he's going to run away. Or she's going to run away, either or. But if you slowly lead up to it, they're willing. Like, they will let you form the bridge. You walk into a Virgo's house, it's like immaculate, like super clean, and they'll say, oh, I'm sorry, it's so dirty. And they really believe that. They're not lying. That's like how they think. So same with sex. They're like, they'll apologize to you the entire time they're having sex. Like, I'm sorry, did that work? I'm sorry. And you got to get them over that. You got to get them more used to it. Okay? Also, routines. Be careful that you don't get stuck in a rut sexually with a Virgo. Always bring something in. If you are the one dating the Virgo, then you're going to be the one that has to bring it in. If you don't want that, if you don't need that kind of energy, Virgos can actually get to the point where they just don't have sex. They are very, not easily, but they can end up celibate and never think about it again. Because remember, there's a fear underlying everything. It rules phobias. Virgos rules phobias. So if they're going to be phobic, that's where you're going to find. So I said they're bottoms. They're going to like a little humiliation. It bodes well psychically, you know, with them. So humiliation a little bit, dominatrix definitely, or a dom the other way. And this is the same for straight, gay, all of them. It's pretty much the same. The only time it's different is when they're picking like a mate, okay? I think that female Virgos pick a mate a little more analytically than males do, because males have an ego difference. Like, the male ego is very different from the female ego. So in a Virgo male, he's going to think, he's almost going to be like grateful, which is terrible to say because it's not even real. Like, guys, it's a shame, but that's true. But it's not a shame because that's who they're supposed to be. I don't even look at also, Virgos are very good at not giving it up. Also, not saying I love you. Also, not having children. Those are the three things that, like, Virgos can do easily with you, and you won't even know it. So, I mean, the children part's a whole other conversation. But Virgos can say no to you, or hide it away so it's really super enticing. Like, Virgos are most likely to not finish. How's that? Not finish. And you'll be like, are you serious? You didn't finish? Why does my face look like uneven? You'll be like trying to get them to finish, and they are so good at not finishing. It's so good. Because it's like it teases them. It's like their own little mental chastity belt, okay? And there's power in saying no. So, just so you know, they're very capable. Okay, so, they're usually a little embarrassed about outside sex, although again, they will do it if you push them. But if you think they're going to initiate like having sex in an elevator, they're not going to do it, but you could. And they'll go with it. They'll go down the rabbit hole that you create all the time. Okay, so they're going to teacher sex where they're the student, yes. Anything where they're like kind of the younger minded person in the fantasy world, yes. They like old-fashioned stuff, fishnet stockings. They like, rather than stripping, they like burlesque, okay? They're more like kind of old-fashioned in their nature, and that's a turn on. Things, and what's a turn on, again, that hiding thing. So what's a turn on is like edible panties or jock straps that cover you just there but show your butt, like that kind of thing, because the hint of sex is like they want to get into it. It's like a keyhole, you know, they want to crawl through. So that's more sexy than overtly being sexy, than boobs up to here and nipples out. Like there's a place for that, because I love that kind of sex, like just being overt about it, but it's not there, okay? Or it is there later, but it's not there when you're first initiating sex with a Virgo. Cleanliness is next to godliness with them as well. So nails like this would be such a turn off for them. Yet no nail polish would have been fine. Do you know what I mean? Sorry about the nails. I gotta go to work. Oh, they're lasting. They last forever. Did I say that? They last forever. Like a man can last forever. Like jaw-breaking forever. For gay females, it would be the bigger, older. They would go for, oh, all of them sugar daddies or sugar mamas. So they go for the older kind of teacher-esque person. Let's see what else. They don't want to be the teacher. They want you to teach. Oh, also fetishes, feet. Different fetishes that are like singular, because remember, they put they're putting boxes into the right size box so they can get stuck on one place, okay? Also, oral. They are much more oral than they care about like penetration. So, as a rule. So, yeah, and that would come because they are ruled that way. They love sex talk. Oh, also nature. Boy, they love nature, the woods, the out into the sunset, out into like that kind of thing, but it has to be somewhere secluded and hidden. They're not like, they're not going to show it off. They're not going to drop trowel. You take them somewhere secluded, out in the woods. They love nature. They're earth beings. They are, like, it's called the virgin for a reason, guys, because that virgin, that kind of trying to get in a virgin's pants is kind of where you are in life with them. Do you get it? They usually like really big, they're boob men for straight sex and for lesbian sex. And for the men, they like big penises. So that's, again, like that part, that functionality. Also, best place to really to go fuck your Virgo is in the shower, because they care about smells. They care about like any kind of body odor. They care about dirt. Hygiene is huge. So like they will love to give you a bath or you to give them a bath. They want to make sure everything's clean. Make sure your sheets are clean, all that kind of stuff, okay? Gay females will like important, powerful, and possibly butchy kind of girls, okay? And gay men, seriously, bears, and again, powerful, bigger bikers. Do you get the idea? They're the little waifs in the woods. They just got caught here. What do you mean? You get what I mean? They're the victim, but not like, they're not a victim identity, but they're the victim in that they are always looking at themselves and wondering, am I too? Am I good enough? Am I this? The judgment doesn't have to, although it can leak out to you. It doesn't have to. It can be very, more often than not, it is self-imposed. And that inhibiting them to take the next step sexually without somebody who's a teacher or a mentor or somebody they trust. And so if you want to be that person, go slow and show them that there's more out there. You know, like I said, they kind of have to be led, and that's going to be your job. And if you're an Aries woman like me, that's no problem. No problem. We do that anyway. All right, guys. I hope you get the idea of sex with a Virgo. I know I'm like so ADHD. I wish I could sit down and just like have a list and really tell you each and everything. But you know, that's not how I talk. So I hope you get it out of me that this is like the way I talk. So I hope you get the idea, the flavor. I hope you're catching the flavor of what I'm shaking on the pasta or whatever. Anyway, whatever. That sounded stupid. Anyway, I love you guys. Go have sex with a Virgo. It's a lot of fun. You can be the teacher. You can be this. And once you teach him, then he always knows. And she always knows. It's just the way it is.